Joining me now to explore the political and the investment fallout is Ian King, Senior Research Analyst at Banyan Hill Publishing. Ian, the worldwide fallout here over murdered journalist Jamal Khashoggi isn't good for Saudi Arabia as questions just continue to swirl over the Saudi government's involvement. What impact are we seeing so far?
Absolutely not. The key here is that Saudi Arabia is trying to modernize their economy. They have a $500 billion plan by 2030 to diversify their economy away from oil into alternative energies, into travel and leisure. And to do that, they need to be running at about a $20 billion a year pace of foreign direct investment. And what's happening now with Khashoggi is just exacerbating this problem where foreign countries are pulling their funds out of Saudi Arabia. You see, in 2012, Saudi Arabia amounted to about 25% of foreign direct investment in the Middle East, and that's dropped to 5% in 2017. They were running at a pace of $12 billion of foreign investment a year, and that's down to $1.4 billion. Now, to put this into perspective, Saudi Arabia is actually getting less foreign direct investment per year than Oman and Jordan. So you can see Saudi Arabia is in a very precarious position here when it comes to having foreigners invest and helping them modernize their economy.
And how are the oil markets doing with so much uncertainty here over Saudi Arabia?
I don't think it's going to have so much of an impact on the oil markets from a Saudi Arabia perspective. I don't think there's going to be any worldwide sanctions on Saudi oil output. If anything, and we've heard from Senator Lindsey Graham and Senator Marco Rubio, the Congress will punish Saudi Arabia. However, I think they'll go by the 2016 Global Magnitsky Act, where they take away visas from key Saudi leaders and impose sanctions on their assets in the United States. So I don't see that to have a big impact on the oil markets.
Let's talk about Saudi Arabia's track record of arresting, harassing, doing worse, beheading dissidents, which is part of what Khashoggi had been covering as a reporter. Do you see that history is playing a factor here, at least in the perception worldwide, that the story behind Khashoggi's death just may not be adding up?
Yeah, like I said, Saudi Arabia is trying to modernize their economy. They want to become part of the global economy, but we are in an era of conscious capitalism, and every global corporation stands for something. And if you think of any company, whether it be Starbucks or Nike or even Chick-fil-A, these companies all stand for something. And at some point, global corporations, and we're seeing this now, don't want to align themselves with a brutal dictatorship that beheads people in the street, that cracks down on any protests, that kills journalists in foreign countries. So there is no benefit for any company, especially based in the United States, to align themselves with a government like Saudi Arabia's.
And then the Trump administration has the decision to make, too, once the full facts are borne out here.
Oh, absolutely. And the way, with the excuses are becoming less and less plausible. So, we know that if they have an excuse, maybe it's good enough for the Trump administration, and maybe it'll just fall out of the news cycle like everything else seems to.
All right. Ian King, thank you for your insight here on Clear Cut Plus.